Oh man, the incredibly elusive Jagged Alliance 3. It's the sequel to the game that turned trees into currency and basically defined the genre of top-down turn-based strategy. Jagged Alliance 3 was first announced in June 2004, a full 19 years ago, and went through all manner of development hell. I'm not going to get into all the specifics since that would require a video all its own, but when I say this game has been literal decades in the making, I'm not exaggerating. This almost didn't happen more times than you'd care to imagine. But now, after all this time, Jagged Alliance 3 is here. So whether you're a fan of the franchise or not, here's a list of 5 important things we figured we should share with you before you decide to start playing. So with that, let's get right to it. Number 1. A nation in turmoil. Jagged Alliance 3 is set in Grand Chien, a country that is rich in natural resources and beset by political instability. Unfortunately, things in this fictional African nation have become pretty chaotic owing to the fact that the democratically elected president has gone missing, and a paramilitary force known only as the Legion have taken it upon themselves to fill the power vacuum, whether the nation's citizens like it or not. Naturally, this is where you come in. The members of the president's family have turned to the Adonis Corporation in order to hire squads of highly capable mercenaries to locate the president, take out the bad guys, and restore order to Grand Chien. So maybe you won't be harvesting medicinal trees to generate income, but you'll definitely have your work cut out for you in Jagged Alliance 3. You'll be pleased to know that the game is fully open world and that you can play it almost however you like. There's no particular path you have to follow, so it's inevitably up to you to decide how things pan out. Don't worry though, the game will gently guide you along your path without explicitly telling you what to do or how to approach a situation, but at the very least you'll know what main objectives and story-related missions there are. According to the 5th entry in the dev diary, Jagged Alliance 3 features over 150 custom-made maps and plenty of places to explore as well as items to salvage. Grand Chien is a diverse country that's made up of deserts, slums, marshes, farmland, and just about everything else you would expect to see in a promising, if very troubled, developing nation. Graphically and in terms of environments, Jagged Alliance 3 delivers all the goods and more, so fans of the franchise should really love what this latest entry has to offer. Number 2. New blood and old favorites. Let's be real, this just won't be a Jagged Alliance game if certain mercs don't return in Jagged Alliance 3. Thankfully, there's a pretty replete list of fan favorites that have featured in gameplay vids so far, including Barry, Buns, Igor, Scope, and Hitman. I've seen a lot of fans expressing their worry or frustration about the legendary and completely crazy Buzz seemingly not being included, but while she hasn't appeared in any gameplay videos so far, at least not to my knowledge, this doesn't mean she won't be in the game. I highly doubt that THQ Nordic are going to show us everything in trailers and gameplay vids, and I have faith that they're watching forums and comment threads to see what feedback there's been so far. In other words, don't panic just yet. That said, if for some reason your faves don't make it into the game, I am truly sorry. Thankfully, there'll be all new mercs that you'll get to meet and work with in Jagged Alliance 3, including Livewire, Omrin, Fowder, Smiley, and Lobo. Whether these new mercs will live up to the legends of your old faves remains to be seen, but I would hope that they resonate with at least some of you guys out there. THQ Nordic seem to have their finger on the pulse, so my gut tells me there'll be some nice new additions to the roster, but I also have a feeling that some mercs may not quite do it for fans. In any case, there should be enough here to appease long-time fans, as well as some new characters that should hopefully appeal to both old and new fans alike. It's also been suggested that mercs that haven't been included in the base game may form part of downloadable content, so even if you don't get everything you want right at the outset, there's still a good chance your faves may make it into the game at a later stage. If this doesn't somehow become a thing, that might just be the biggest missed opportunity ever. Just saying. Number 3. Character progression. The good news in Jagged Alliance 3 is that the game uses a classless system, meaning you don't actually have to develop your mercs according to any preset path or skills tree. This is really awesome as you can essentially customize your squads to the nth degree without having to worry about any annoying constraints. So as with the classic Jagged Alliance games, a merc has several basic stats that are assigned a number between 0 and 100. These stats encompass health, agility, dexterity, strength, wisdom, leadership, marksmanship, mechanical, explosives, and medical. These stats aren't fixed and can be improved over time in various ways, such as via training from a more seasoned merc or combat experience. Note that there are limits with regards to in-field experience and that this is also loosely influenced by the standard process of leveling up. Mercs start at level 1 and can progress all the way to level 10, which consequently raises their salary and improves their stats as they become more experienced. As mercs level up, they can benefit from different perks that unlock once a certain stat reaches the minimum requirement of 70 points. Additional perks will unlock at 80 and 90 points as well and are designed to work well with other perks within that stat category. Naturally, each of your mercs is different, so they each start with predefined traits as well as a unique talent. Traits are minor effects that have more of an influence on a merc's personality and, in some cases, conversation options, while a talent is entirely unique and may encompass something like a signature attack or something less obvious. For example, Barry's unique talent is Boutique Explosives, which produces special explosives that have a directional blast, while MD's is Find My Feet, which causes him to become inspired every now and then, granting him additional action points and increasing team morale during firefights. In short, if you're looking for a heaping load of customization options and the ability to create a crack team of mercs that suit your chosen playstyle, Jagged Alliance 3 serves up the most granular approach this side of Grand Chien's Johnny River. Get some! Number 4. Online Co-op. Recently announced in what is likely the final dev diary was an online co-op mode for Jagged Alliance 3. They refer to this as multiplayer, which is technically correct, but the reality is that one other player will be able to join you in taking on the game's campaign. I honestly have no idea exactly how this will affect the experience, but it certainly seems like a completely new way to enjoy the game. Basically, one player will act as the host while the other will act as their partner. A host may start a completely new campaign with their partner or even invite them to join in on an ongoing playthrough, which I think is a pretty nice touch. In addition, there's no real difference between a single player and co-op save, so a host is free to continue a game on their own if their partner decides to opt out. Moreover, both players can load any of the saves created during their co-op campaign and continue in single player if they so desire. Naturally, there are some constraints here. For example, both players can only explore one sector within the same tactical view. This might sound a little disappointing, but owing to the technical and logistical requirements in the game, it's just not feasible at all. However, both players can initiate conversations, hire mercs, manage squads, and all that good stuff. Just bear in mind that you'll share your funds and have to develop strategies together, so consider yourself a fully fledged mercenary contracting partnership in this regard. There are several challenges the devs had to overcome in relation to the online co-op, such as compensating for desyncs, but I'll spare you all the gory details. If you really want to find out the nitty-gritty about the co-op, read the latest dev diary and you should find all the answers you're looking for there. In the end, the online co-op definitely sounds promising and will hopefully be something that appeals to players across the board. And last but not least, number 5, mod support. For those of you who are really into the Jagged Alliance experience, you'll be very happy to know that the game will have support for mods. Okay, admittedly modding won't be available out the box, and I think that's fair given that the initial release may require some patches and updates before more advanced functionality becomes available. So my assumption is that you'll be able to mod Jagged Alliance 3 a few weeks, or possibly months after the game's release. But the good news is that modders will get access to all the tools the devs have used to develop the game and will be able to customize and modify everything from weapons and mercs to quests and voice responses. In essence, you'll be able to create your own campaigns that others will be able to enjoy, or even create something even more substantial if you have the constitution for it. Over the years, modding has played an integral role in the Jagged Alliance community and ensured the game's longevity for all this time. So whether you're a modder or just a regular gamer, Jagged Alliance 3 should theoretically provide near endless replayability, and that's all good in our book. In closing, Jagged Alliance 3 looks like the long-awaited sequel everyone has been looking forward to. Whether your bag is conversation and story or straight-up white-knuckle shoot first, ask questions later action, this definitely looks like a turn-based strategy game you're not going to want to miss out on. Jagged Alliance 3 is out on July 14th, 2023 and will be available on PC only. Sorry console owners. And that, dear friends, is that. That's 5 things you need to know about Jagged Alliance 3. Is there anything else you think gamers need to know? Or did I cover the most important stuff in this video? Let me know in the comments. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more gaming, VR and tech content. From me and the crew here at Metasquad, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Later!